Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited because this is the second episode of my Bees to Become series. This episode is focused around keeping the promises that you make to yourself. This is absolutely crucial and we will get into why that is. So if you have seen my first episode, absolutely incredible. If not, please just click on my channel and click on the first episode. The first episode is all about building a self-compassionate voice. This is absolutely fundamental and you need one. And I give tips and tricks on how to build one. So please go and check out that episode and then watch this one and all the others that I'm gonna do. Okay, so in theme of this video, I'm going to be keeping a promise I made to myself. I made it this morning and I said after work I'm going to go to the gym, and so I need to keep that promise because I will completely explain to you why. So I need to get out of my comfy clothing. I'm currently in my little Sunday Club jumper. I absolutely love this jumper. It's from Jam Industries. They are such a gorgeous brand and the founders are so lovely, which just makes the brand even better. So yeah, please go check them out and just stick around and we'll get into this video. Okay, so having kept the promise of going to the gym, I am now going to just dive into why keeping promises to yourself is so crucial. So the reason behind this is it's very crucial for your self-confidence and it really helps you rely on yourself. Okay, so the reason why it's so important and crucial that you keep the promises you make to yourself is because you're building this deep self-trust, and in turn that builds this rock solid confidence. So it means when you're making a choice, when you're making a promise to yourself, you know that you're going to follow through, and that's such a freeing thing because it just shows that you're so reliant and that you can really trust whatever you say and whatever you choose, which just means that you build this confidence that can't be knocked by other people, which I think is incredibly crucial. So conversely, breaking those promises that you've made to yourself, that erodes your self-esteem and it makes it really difficult for you to trust in your future capabilities. So it's really crucial that you take some awareness and you sort of step out of yourself or see what promises you're making to yourself or what choices you're choosing. So because you don't want to erode your self-esteem, you want to build that self-trust within you and that unshakable confidence. Okay, so there are 3 things that keeping the promises you make to yourself help with. The first is that it builds your self-confidence. The second is it helps foster self-respect. And then the third is that it maintains integrity. So I'm just going to break down those 3 things, which are incredibly important. Okay, so we'll start with number 1, which is self-confidence. So self-confidence, this isn't innate. You might see there are some people that are more confident than other people, and they could just genuinely be more confident. It could have been through their life experiences. They've just got this confidence. But in general, it's not an innate thing. It's through our experience that we build our self-confidence, and it's through consistently following through on the choices that you make to yourself every day. So that is what self-confidence is about. It's about following through to the commitments you've chosen to make. One of the key takeaways, or the kind of little golden nugget, is that the choices, these are not necessarily big choices, it's the little small commitments, the small promises, the small choices that are so fundamental in keeping. Okay, so we'll move to the second one. This is fostering self-respect. So this is your own boundaries and your own goals. It's treating them with the same priority that you give to others, because through doing this, you prove that your own needs are valid. So this is incredibly important, because showing yourself that you can meet your needs, yes, it fosters self-respect, but it also helps with your self-trust, which again helps with your self-confidence. So it's that kind of compounding, and that's really crucial. So really think about those boundaries, think about those goals that you have. How are you meeting your own needs? Keep those promises. We always come back to the title, keep those promises to yourself. Show yourself that you'll meet your needs. Okay, and now we're going to just look at the third one. So with the third one, it is maintaining integrity. So your language is incredibly powerful, and when you do what you set out to do, so when you align your actions with your intention, you eliminate this internal conflict and this guilt. So you don't want to have internal conflict, and you don't want to feel guilty about something that you said you were going to do but you didn't do. If you can remove that, it also reduces sort of feelings of anxiety, and it really helps with that self-trust, with that confidence. Again, we're coming back to those. So your language is powerful, and I spoke about this in the first episode when I talked about your self-compassionate voice. So that's the way you speak to yourself, so please go and watch that video, it's incredibly important. But yes, so intention paired with action is crucial, because I did touch on this in the first episode, but your thoughts lead to feelings, which then lead to actions, and that in turn creates your reality. So I've had so many people talk about that. So when you think about something, when you go, I'm going to do this, you've got to go and do it, because then you will keep that integrity with yourself. You'll build that self-trust, and in turn that builds unshakable confidence, which is what you want to achieve when becoming your best self. Okay, so we have just done the why, and all those points are so crucial, because we want to build this unshakable confidence. We want to really trust in ourselves. So now I'm just gonna say a few points of how to action this. So I think my process is I try and make small promises to myself and be able to deliver them easily. Like something that's quite simple for me to do. So for me, with my gym example, going to the gym, that's really simple. I walk to the gym, so it's not like I'm catching transport. It's a very simple thing for me to just include in my day. I think it's also prepping yourself for success, and with that, it's like if you say you're going to get up early, you've got to get up early. That's keeping that promise, that's maintaining that integrity. However, you also need that consistency of enough sleep, because your body won't function properly. So, and you'll feel really tired, and it will just, the early morning won't have helped you. So you need to prepare yourself. Like if you want to get up early, then go to bed early. If you want to cook a breakfast in the morning, give yourself time to do that. Sort of start small, and start with things like, say you're trying to, I keep using the gym, but say you're trying to go to the gym but you're not quite going there, or you're not finding enough time in your day. Maybe do like a 10-minute workout from a YouTube that you can do at home. So that's quite an easy win. If you're trying to cook every day, then just give yourself a task of like, for the next 4 days, like start small, like be like, for the next 4 days, I'm going to cook every night, or I'm going to read 2 pages of a book. Don't go, I'm going to read a whole chapter, or I'm going to read a book a week. Start really tiny. Those small things, that's going to really build up. It's going to compound. Suddenly you'll be able to read like 2 chapters in one day, and it will just slowly increase, and then you've kept that promise. So you're building that foundation, you're building that self-respect, you're building that self-trust, you're building your confidence, you're maintaining the integrity to yourself. Like, this is such an important thing. It's like being able to fully love yourself is keeping those promises and following through, building that unshakable confidence, which everyone wants to have, because you don't want to crumble through your own actions, and you don't want to crumble from someone else saying something. You'd rather want to know that you can trust yourself. If you say you're going to do that, you know you're going to do that. You pair your intention with your action, and you trust in yourself, so that no one else can make you feel insecure or make you feel like you can't do what you say you're going to do. So it really helps your future capability, which is just incredible. And start small. Don't make it so complicated. Start small, and also be really aware of what you're saying to yourself. So just be aware of those promises, be aware of those thoughts. Be like, a lot of people take on this, be the main character. Don't, like, obviously be the main character, but as in, maybe you should come at it as, be the architect of your life. You're building this beautiful, we'll use a building for an example, like you're building this beautiful building. So you need all of those foundations and those elements. You're the architect, all those thoughts, all those feelings, that intention with that action, that's what you're doing. So just think, be quite mindful of what you're telling yourself. And yes, so this is the end of my video. I hope you liked it, and I hope it really helps you. And I also hope that you listen to the previous episode, because that again is incredibly crucial. I think these 2 will probably be the most fundamental, and then in the next videos I'll cover some other things, because it's all about becoming your best self. We're on this journey, I'm on this journey as well. I'm trying to keep the promises I make to myself, so we're doing that. And also a little shout out, I've got my little French tips on, and I think they're so cute. Yeah, I love getting biab, so I can mention that and about what biab is, but I love it, so I just thought I'd shout out my little nails. I get them done in Bath. But yes, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you, and have a beautiful, gorgeous day, and keep those promises.